So you ever have that day where, you know, you wake up and you're like, yeah, I'm doing good. And then as it develops, you're like, whoa, wait. I'm not starting to feel so good. Your energy level drops. Your motivation might even kind of shift back and forth. And then before you know it, you're kind of like, oh, God, and you're freaking out. What's taking place? Why is this happening? There's multiple things that could be happening, to be fully frank with you. But the majority of the time, it's usually coming down to mindset. You guys know I love the topic of mindset, but what is your mindset? I think that's a question you need to always pause and just ask yourself. Okay, so I'm feeling bad. That is a mindset. That's a feeling I'm feeling. I'm gauging myself. I'm understanding what's happening. Now, can I get more information from this? Can I ask myself other questions to be like, well, maybe what triggered this? Or simply, did I even eat yet today? Did I drink enough water? Is my heart rate getting a little higher than normal? Maybe I'm stressed out. These are really good questions to ask yourself to kind of help gauge your whole entire perspective of why you're viewing the day and the way you are. I'll give you a perfect example. Sometimes I wake up and I feel like this whole gloom of perception is just there. I'm like, whoa, why? And then I realize a lot of things, but one of the key things I realize is my mindset is not correct. I'm leaning too much on all my stresses in life. All my negativity is kind of forming this cloud of perception that I have to be like, whoa, okay, can we kind of get out of this? And I learn how to get out of it multiple steps. First is prayer. Okay, so when you invite a higher power, God, into your life, you're inviting this source so incredible, there's no words to explain, because it's just, that's the presence of God. Now, another trick I've also learned, once you get that mindset, you invited this superpower to kind of go into your mind, to super solve, if you will, super bring this peace that you can't understand. Once that starts developing, you now can start getting clarity within why you're feeling and thinking the way you are. Sometimes, I think a lot of us, we might get stressed out over money. We might get stressed out over interpersonal relationships. We might get stressed out with just projects we're trying to tackle, but I think we're focusing so hard that our brains are kind of like, yo, back up, just relax. And that's actually another suggestion. When you wake up and you start feeling like maybe things are a little hectic, my perspective or perception is just not the way it is, maybe I highly suggest this. Don't even allow yourself to think about what you need to do that very day yet. Now, that sounds crazy, I know, but allow your subconscious to kind of just do it for you. Now, what I mean by that is, if you wake up, or let me restate that, if you go to bed thinking about something you need to do the next day, and you wake up and that's right on your mind, yeah, you had the whole period of sleep to kind of give you that refreshing, perspective again, but sometimes that doesn't do the trick. I've had this happen too many times to know that doesn't always do the trick. So I actually sometimes have to pause my big projects for days, just so then I can have my subconscious self my subconscious self to more or less process data, and then my conscious self to focus on something else completely, entirely different. And what has happened, I've seen very high success rates in my own personal life, and I've heard others share the same, that when you do stuff like this, you're taking your mind from a big data project within your mind, all this information, like your mind's wired just directly looking on that, right? And then you're switching it to over here. Now, when you're switching it over here, you're allowing new channels within your mind to start forming or to be more alive. Now, these old channels, they're not old, but they're still being accessed. This is your subconscious self coming in and doing like data calculations, if you will. But then I believe this, and our psychologists won't back this theory, but if you do the first step I said, if I got in there, when you allow in your subconscious self to do this, you have superpowers going on over here. Now you're focusing on stuff that you can actually deal with and handle. Example, today I gotta do my laundry, I gotta cook lunch soon. These are small little things, but they're necessary for me to keep going on strong. I need clean clothes, I need to have food in my stomach to continue having energy, right? My next big project is organizing a system strategy for 2018. That's something that's completely different than my other priorities that are really vitally important right now. I won't get into them, kind of personal, but I know I'm at a dead end right now that you have to have a time period to allow your subconscious self, and aka God, to come in there and just whoosh, smooth out the pathway. I can take this path for the moment, start forming it, and I can already guarantee what's going to happen. I'll get too focused on this one, as in 2018, that's a huge stretch of time we're talking. I'm going to get so tunnel vision into it, eventually I'm going to get stressed out in that. I'm going to be like, whoa, let's pause now, let's jump to this. You see what I'm getting at? You're spacing your priorities out. Now, as we develop and get more, I guess, organized and busier in life, you're going to have this one, this one, this one, this one. You're going to have so many of them, and that's always, of course, your choice, that eventually you're going to have this happen. You're going to have a system overload of a system overload. And I guess let me elaborate. The saying, your plate's too full for you to like basically eat. It's true. If you have too much going on in your life, you can't do it all. That's where you have to start managing out to other people in a business standpoint. Once you get to that level, I think you have to really prioritize yourself and really ask yourself a couple key questions. Sorry, I'm getting over sickness. Is everything I have in my life right now necessary? It's a huge question to ask. Very deep question. Question that you might want to take a little while to really settle and allow to kind of get some clarity. But for me, I started a company this year. I'm realizing on my 2018 journey and my 2017 journey, there's sections of it that won't continue on. That can't continue on. It won't allow longevity to really cherish and flourish. For me, this is a huge decision, which kind of comes into that one path type choice. For me, I'm seeing personally, in a lot of aspects, some things that I wanted to do, I just can't do. Not that I don't have the ability to do it. It's just the time to actually do them. You can't tackle 2 huge projects all at once. You can, but your stress level is going to shoot off the roofs. And on top of that, your happiness is going to just get smushed. And it's not worth it. And that's where you have to really ask yourself some really deep questions when you get to this system overload areas in your life. Concluding this, I feel like in some aspects you might have got off topic. You wake up and you have this perception that might not be so good. You have the proactive ability to shift it and change it. It does take time and it does take mental effort. But you have it all at your fingertips to do so. And I think too many of us, we just kind of are the reactive folks. We're just like, well, I'm going to be a little bouncy ball today. I'm going to get hit that way and that way and that way. And before you know it, you're so used to this bouncy ball effect. You're so mentally exhausted, physically and spiritually exhausted, that for you to take the proactive steps, you don't have it in you. You really don't. You're just so squashed. But once you start learning the power in your choice matters, the power in your voice matters, your actions matter, and you get to choose these, your whole life will always be different. Sometimes we all might have to do a 180, sometimes a 360. Taking these steps and turns are necessary if they're going to help bring out the goals you want in your life and also help you get to the destination you want. I think many people my age particularly, when you come to career choices or what you want to do for the rest of your life, these are huge choices. But if I go this pathway and that pathway, they're going to end completely different. But if I can see my end goal result is this, I can ask, well, out of these 2 pathways, what one's going to make me the happiest? What one's going to make me want to wake up every day and live and breathe and do it? It's kind of like a GPS, you know, some locations you have like 4 or 5 different routes. In the sad part, or the horrible part, I guess, with life routes, there's a lot of unpredictable encounters you're going to run across. But I will say this, with prayer, meditation, and self-reflection, kind of a daily process, you're going to have very amazing results. But also having the proactive approach is going to really shift your whole entire perspective potentially forever and hopefully forever. Um, Mindset is powerful, and being as mindset as the ability to shift any direction you want, in each mindset holds data of information of pretty much learn behaviors that you can enact. I could go into a mindset of let's dance. I'm not a good dancer, so I won't try. But it's a mindset. It's not who I am, it's a mindset. I could go into the mindset of to start running more athletic. It's a mindset. You have to learn breathing patterns. There's so many mindsets that if you're living in a mindset you don't like, adjust it, fix it. Don't continue walking and breathing in a horrible mindset. Hey, thank you.